One beautiful morning, as the Buddha journeyed through the countryside, he came upon a village bustling with life. He saw farmers toiling under the warm sun, their backs bent as they plowed the earth, sowed seeds, and wiped the sweat from their brows. They worked tirelessly, their every effort a testament to their love for their families. The Buddha stopped, his presence radiating a quiet calm, and he simply watched them, a gentle understanding in his eyes. After a while, a farmer, his hands and feet caked with mud, straightened up and walked over to the Buddha. He looked weary, but his eyes held a deep curiosity. "Lord," he began, his voice raspy from the heat, "you travel the world speaking of peace, of enlightenment. I listen to your words, and they are beautiful. But how can someone like me ever hope to find this peace? My days are spent in mud and heat, from sunrise to sunset. My work is hard, my body aches. Where is there room for peace in a life like mine?" He gestured to the vast fields, a landscape of endless labor. The Buddha met the farmer's gaze, and a soft, compassionate smile graced his lips. It was a smile that seemed to understand the weight of the world, and yet held the lightness of a feather. "My friend," he said, his voice as gentle as a summer breeze, "the path you walk is not so different from my own. For I, too, am a farmer." The farmer's brow furrowed in confusion. He looked at the Buddha's clean robes, his serene demeanor. "You? A farmer?" he asked, unable to hide his disbelief. "But you do not work the soil. You do not sow seeds or pull weeds." The Buddha nodded slowly, his smile unwavering. "Yes," he affirmed, "I am a farmer. You cultivate crops in your field, nurturing them from tiny seeds into a bountiful harvest. I, on the other hand, cultivate goodness in the vast field of my mind." The farmer leaned in, completely captivated. The other villagers, noticing the conversation, began to gather around, their curiosity piqued. The Buddha continued, his words painting a vivid picture for them all. "You sow seeds of rice and wheat to feed the body. I sow seeds of faith, compassion, and patience to nourish the soul." He paused, letting the comparison sink in. "You diligently pull out the weeds that threaten to choke your precious plants. In the same way, I work to remove the weeds of anger, jealousy, and greed that can choke the heart and poison the spirit. You water your soil, ensuring it remains fertile and life-giving. I water my mind with the gentle rains of meditation and the clear stream of mindfulness, keeping it fresh and receptive." The farmer listened in complete awe, his earlier weariness replaced by a dawning understanding. The world he knew, the soil, the seeds, the weeds, was suddenly a mirror for a much deeper reality. The Buddha went on. "Just as your crops do not sprout overnight but take time to grow, requiring constant care and effort, so too do peace and wisdom. They bloom slowly, nurtured by our daily attention and dedication. There are no shortcuts to a good harvest, whether in the field or in the heart." The farmer's eyes widened. He saw his life's work not as a burden, but as a profound spiritual practice. He bowed deeply, his head touching the ground he worked so hard upon. "Then, Lord," he said, his voice filled with reverence, "every one of us in this world is a farmer. Every single day we are all cultivating something." The Buddha's smile grew warmer. "Yes," he agreed, "that is the truth. But remember this crucial lesson. The nature of the seed determines the nature of the harvest. If you plant seeds of anger and resentment, you will inevitably harvest a field of sorrow. But if you plant seeds of kindness, forgiveness, and generosity, you will harvest a lifetime of joy." Looking at the farmer and the crowd gathered around him, the Buddha delivered the final, powerful truth. "Your life," he said, his voice resonating with clarity, "is the field. Your thoughts are the seeds, and your actions are the harvest you will reap." Tears of profound insight filled the farmer's eyes. He finally understood. From that day forward, he continued to work his land with diligence and care. But he also began to work in the fertile field of his own mind, consciously planting seeds of love and peace. And perhaps that is the greatest lesson for all of us. True, lasting peace doesn't come from changing our outer circumstances. It doesn't come from a different job or a different place. It is something that grows from within, cultivated one thought, one action at a time. If this story resonated with you, please consider sharing it with someone who might need to hear it. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that help nurture the soul. Thank you for watching.